Now everyone's saying it. If you drive less, you pay less for car insurance. But how much less? A tad less. A smidge less. Around 20%-ish less? Or a whole lot less? Like 70% less for comprehensive car insurance from South Africa's hottest pay-per-K insurer, Chili from King Price. We're big into less. Like 70% less. Visit kingprice.co.za for a quote.
Hi and welcome everybody to Let's Talk Automotive. Today we are here at X-Drive Park, BMW's amazing facility in Midrand, and we are here for the launch of the new 128 Ti hatch. So let's go have a look at what it looks like. So we're privileged to be joined by Ryan Wanasuria.
That's good.
That's
good
not bad, huh? Well, you're not related to the cricketer.
I wish.
Yeah, okay.
I wish I had his skill.
Yeah, okay, I can hear what you're saying. But he's the 1 Series product manager, and I thought what better person to talk us through the difference between the models than the product expert. And I mean, let me ask the question.
Yeah.
We've got the 1 Series, 118. Let's welcome ourselves to some semblance of work. And we got the M135i, which says, okay, I've arrived now, but I'm still working for somebody.
Yeah.
So now we present the 128 Ti, yes. Yeah. There's changes which you pointed out to us. So maybe I think better for us and our viewers is just talk us through. We can see lots of red.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the major distinguishing factor between the 128 Ti and the M135i or the rest of the 1 Series product range. Instantly recognizable side skirts in red. If you look at the side of the car, we have an exclusive 18-inch wheel, which you can only have on this vehicle, and M Sport brake calipers in red, also exclusive to this car only.
That's very cool. I mean, I think it brings out its individuality. But let's talk a bit about the whole front-wheel drive thing.
Yeah.
Because now we've got BMW's entry into the hatch segment, right? Talk to us about the M front diff, because front wheel and understeer can be a bit dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the BMW moving from rear wheel to front wheel drive was a contentious thing, but there were reasons behind it, and forget all the benefits of functional room inside the car, headroom and legroom. Let's talk about how the cars drive. We have two major technologies that help with understeer, which is synonymous with front wheel drive cars. The first being we have the ARB technology, which is taken directly out of an i3. It stands for Actuator Contiguous Limited Slip Differential.
Let's not say that 3 times fast.
Okay, no, I'm really sorry about that. But what it does is it desensitizes the understeer, so the driver actually doesn't feel it, and actually pushes the car through the corner even quicker. So hence, there's no feeling of understeer.
So I mean, obviously we'll drive it with Fanie as well to feel it, but that's, I think, is a big shift, because I mean, traditional front wheel drive now, again, I'm coming back to the hot hatch segment, you want to create individuality, and I think BMW's done it well.
I think when you look at the front of the car, it's important to note that it looks very similar to M135i, but the air inlets in the front obviously have the sides the side skirts in red, and the most important thing is that the front grille is in a high gloss black. Now, this is something optional you can get on the M135i, but does come at a cost. So when you look at an M135 and you look at a 128 Ti, and you even take a 118 with M Sport, they're instantly distinguishable from the front or the side. And that's what we wanted, a unique character for the 128 Ti.
Yes, you want identity.
Yes.
Before we go, also I noticed the black tips.
Yes.
For the exhaust.
Yes.
Is that also part of the identity?
It's standard for this car. It comes with the high gloss black surrounds, which affect obviously the window surrounds, the front grille and the back. Yes.
So Ryan, obviously there's changes with this model being unique by its representation. Immediately obvious is the red interior. Are there other changes that would be also visible within this range? Yeah,
so obviously to match the character of the outside of the car that filters into the inside, you see the red stitching in abundance. I love the touch on the front armrest. Both obviously the rear seats and the front seats also have the red stitching. But what's important to note is that the interior has been updated to model a new 3 Series. And by design, you can see that it creates a more premium interior for the driver.
Yeah, because the older 3 Series, it's kind of old tech now. It's becoming like a bit outdated.
Yes.
And people are noticing it. So I think that's a good move.
Yeah, and I think for this to be the entry level into the brand, being the 1 Series, it's quite a statement that we're making, that you have navigation as standard and you get to sit in such a plush cockpit.
Yes. No, awesome.
Yeah. So Vishnu, thank you very much for bringing me along to the launch of the new BMW 128 Ti. Your initial thoughts when you get into the car?
This is an interesting market, I must say. In many ways, one would think that a lot of the cars have moved away from front-wheel drive. And I mean, we had the technical expert explain all the technologies
Yeah.
around it. For me, I just find it an interesting segment. The 1 Series is not not a go-to car for me.
Yeah.
So if you've got a 118 and a 1M235i, and this is in between, my question is, what market are we trying to appeal to? So my impression is it's a really good-looking car,
Yeah.
and you can always see they've taken a lot of intricate work. You know, they've
Yes.
taken their time. But what segment? I'm asking the question.
Well, from the notes they gave us and what they said was they're trying to enter this hot hatch segment. So that's where they're trying to play, and you know, if that's the case, then yes, they're probably getting it right with this model.
Yeah, and so let me ask the other question to this. Is that all right? So the hot hatch market has the GTI, which, if we look at the list price of this at 687, is much more.
Yeah.
I don't know the stats on the GTI, so I'm not
Yes.
gonna. We've got the A class, the A35 AMG, and the A45 AMG, which is much more pricey wise, but
Yes.
also performance wise, they're much quicker.
Yeah.
So there's that gap.
I want to touch on the TI because this badge hasn't been on a lot of BMWs. You know, to be quite honest, the two models that they've referenced to, the 2002, which was I think round about 1968 to 70, and the 325 TI, which was 97 to 2000 thereabouts. And then obviously this heritage. So what does the TI stand for?
It's a Turismo International.
International.
Yes.
Yeah, so a sporty yet comfortable type of vehicle. That's what the TI stands for. So Vish, I'm behind the wheel now. My initial thoughts are simply very sporty again. Like all the BMW models we've had the privilege of driving and reviewing. Very responsive steering, very responsive engine. I'm having a ball. Let's talk about curb weight
Yes.
on this model versus the 135.
Which is an X-Drive, but it is a 4-wheel drive, so this
Yes.
is lighter.
Yes.
So it's more responsive overall. I think the curb weight from a quick handling point of view might be an interesting challenge to see between the two, what handles or feels better.
Yeah.
With the front wheel drive, you've got far more direct feedback all the time, and you
Correct.
don't have a lot of electronics intervening where you'll do across all the axles.
Well, this is 80 kilograms lighter.
Yeah.
And front wheel drive, obviously that makes a huge difference with feel.
With feedback. And coming while we're talking about weight.
Okay, Vish, I'm on a serious diet, bro. I'm losing weight, but let's talk about the Fanie Fit.
Yeah, so how are you feeling? Is it chomping into your donut stream?
The bucket seats are definitely, you know,
Firm.
they are firm. They are chowing into my sides here. Especially going around the corners and you know the normal stuff. Yeah, but like we said, this segment, this market that we're looking at is
Young, upcoming.
Just
Started earning, or they've earning for like 3 or 4 years. So it's postgraduate.
Yeah.
So someone's got a basic degree, now they're doing their honors, they've got a better salary
Correct.
scale, they can upgrade from a 118. Is it good enough to fulfill that gap? It's individualized, as Ryan pointed out. So there's an identity
Sure.
which relates to it. What do you think?
Can I give you my honest opinion? I think that it's too close together. I'm not 100% sure. I understand that the hot hatch competing against other brands, yes, I understand that. But this between the 118 and the 135, yo,
Which is what I asked earlier. Was okay, it's cute, but does it present you with a cigar?
yeah, it's a difficult one. I think we'll have to wait and see how this plays out.
Yeah, from a market and sales point of view.
Yeah. Before we get to final thoughts, I want to just run through the setup in here. Obviously, very, very much the BMW DNA. Everything's where we expect it to be. It's got all the bells and whistles, the touchscreen
Yes, the
navigation and the iDrive stuff. Very nice digital display here in front of us. So I'm very comfortable in that sense, and thinking that this is, you know, if you think about the fact that this is the sort of the entry level BMW, that's nice to know and nice to see.
Yes, and also I think what we've seen through all the models, I mean, going all the way back to the 8 Series, all the vehicles we've driven and tested, BMW's regularity through
Yes.
all the models means that if you are a family person with multiple BMWs, it's very easy to fit
Yeah.
from one car to the next with minimal fuss. And I
Correct.
think that's always, and I mean, a lot of people have said it's too clinical, it's too neutral, but I think that it does have a place.
Yes.
Because you can distinguish the various models
Sure.
in there.
Okay, so coming back to final thoughts, Vish. I'm definitely impressed. I can't say that I'm not impressed. Very, very much performance vehicle. Doing all what it's supposed to do, ticking all the boxes. So we probably need to give this a rating now out of 10 in the segment, which is the hot hatch segment.
Yes.
So give me your rating.
I just need to take a pause before we rate, and it's a question we've been talking about is, again, where does it fit? For me, I'm very unclear about it. I find the difference between the top rated, the high spec and the low spec model, and this is kind of, it's not enough to justify another model.
Yeah.
So I would, in its hot hatch segment, in the price rating, it would rate high.
Yeah.
In performance rating in hot hatch, it rates low.
Yeah.
So I'd go for a sort of a 6.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
With those,
Well, we're very close.
Yeah.
I was definitely going to go for a 7 out of 10. Just for that exact same, if we go, was it the Mercedes A35 that we had also for a review not too long ago? When we look at performance, that blew my mind.
yes,
But if you think about, let's take another example. What other hot hatch can we compare it to at a bit of a lower spec?
I don't know. I mean, the Renault Megane
and
RS
the VWs
and the VWs, the GTIs.
Yeah. So there again, that rates higher. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Awesome.
And that's it for Let's Talk Automotive and our review on the BMW 128 Ti. And we'll see you again next week.
Bye.